Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Storytime at Powell's Books. My name is Kim Sutton, and I'll be your host today. Today, we are honored and delighted to welcome the Tiny Chef, author of The Tiny Chef and the Mishing Weshipee Blook. As you may know, the Tiny Chef is 6.5 inches tall without his hat and never talks about his age. He's an herbivore, artist, author, filmmaker, musician, and of course, chef. The Tiny Chef has had a meteoric rise to superstardom since his emergence on Instagram in 2018. The Tiny Chef produces all of his own material with some help from the Tiny team, which is Rachel Larsen, Adam, Reid, and Akturk. In addition to the Tiny Chef today, we are also joined by the Tiny Chef's team. Rachel has dedicated her life to protecting Chef and helping him bring his tiny vision to the world. While neither seems to recall exactly when they met, they are two peas in a pod and totally inseparable. Chef counts on Rachel to help him with his on-camera performance, drive him to voice lessons, and to taste his new dishes. No detail of Chef's life is too tiny for Rachel to offer help in any way she can. Watch closely and you'll see how the chef shines when Rachel's in the room. Adam and the Tiny Chef share a love of storytelling, art, and board games. Adam often reads books aloud to Chef, and they'll stay up late talking about old movies and their favorite shows. Adam and the Chef bring out the best in each other. They can be very silly, like two puppies in a field of fresh flowers, but also very serious together, like when they are writing. Adam helps Chef find just the right words and makes terrible doodles of the Chef's wonderful ideas. Ozzy met the Tiny Chef in New Zealand and they became fast friends over their passion for adventure and food. So the story goes, one day Ozzy leaned over and whispered in the chef's ear, "Why don't you make a cooking show?" And their lives would never be the same. Ozzy now pours all her energy into helping the chef using her production powers. Ozzy makes sure the chef is seen in the best light and at his best angles on camera. She even removes unsightly stains on the Tiny Chef's apron when he asks. This story time today will include a Q&A. If you would like to ask the Tiny Chef and the Tiny team a question, you can use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. If somebody has typed a question that you would also like to know the answer to, you can upvote the question by clicking on the thumbs up. You can support the Tiny Chef and Powell's by purchasing a copy of The Tiny Chef and the Mishing Weshipee Blook, and I will share a link to that book in the chat today. Tiny Chef, Rachel, Adam, and Ozzy, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
We're so excited to be here. Before we start, Chef, is it okay? I thought we could play the audiobook. I thought we could play the audiobook with the book pictures, and then everybody would get to hear you performing with your new friend, Paul.
Oh, that's so much fun doing it. You know what, madam? That's a wonderful idea. Let's do it.
Let's roll tape, and then we'll all be back, and we'll talk after, and Chef, you can do I know you want to grill us, so we'll take all your questions, and then we'll take everybody else's. Okay, so roll tape.
For the Tiny Chef inside every one of us. This lovely old stump on this ordinary street is home to a creature you really must meet. He loves games and music, and especially books. He is the Tiny Chef, and he lives to cook.
Sure do.
This is his kitchen, but what happened here? What a disaster! Oh my word! Oh my dear!
Oh boy.
And where is the chef in this torn apart stump? If you look closely, you'll spot just his rum.
Right here.
What's wrong, Tiny Chef? Can we give you a hand?
My recipe book has gone missing, my friend.
It finally happened. Good golly, good gosh! The chef's precious recipe book appears to be lost.
Oh boy. All right, what's him news?
This book contains secrets to Chef's very best dishes, the creations he makes when he feels most ambitious.
The best ones, I'll tell you.
Like the Blegaful Mai he makes once a year, on the first day of fall, and that day is here.
It's you. Like I big my Blegaful pie.
So he looks in his fridge and in other odd places, like under his bed and in dark, smelly spaces.
Oh, boy.
With no book in sight, the chef throws quite a tantrum.
I flat don't believe this blasphemy happened.
Countdown from 10, Chef. Let all worry go. Let's take a deep breath. And let it out slow.
Oh, Paul, you know how to do it.
His herb garden forest is just steps away and towers above him with branches that sway. The smell in the air of rosemary and thyme makes his clipping and snipping well worth the climb.
That my rose now.
On the mushroom trail with its damp, grassy floor, oh, what a harvest, portobello's galore. How can he resist? He takes some to go, so tasty and hearty as our tiny chef knows.
Well, maybe just one.
Back at the stump, the chef dumps out his haul and begins the big task of making it small.
Just get to work, everybody.
He slices some garlic as thin as he can, then sautés it up in his bottle cap pan.
Oh, that's delicious.
He mixes in mushrooms, potatoes, then stirs, tossing in carrots, some celery, and herbs.
Yes.
The tiny chef sings as he gleefully cooks. He's forgotten all about his lost recipe book. He straightens his hat. The stew now needs to simmer. So he keeps himself busy singing songs about dinner. Waiting is hard with a rumbling tummy, but he knows that the waiting will make it more yummy. When the moment arrives, the chef gives it a try. It's so delicious. He actually cries.
I love it so much.
And that's when his recipe book finally appears. Right where he'd left it. Now, isn't that weird?
It was from you all along.
The chef can't believe it. His little heart burst. It was there all along. Did you see it first?
Oh, I love it so much. Wait, look. Don't you go walking off on me again.
Now the tiny chef knows just what to do with his new favorite recipe, Blegaful Shoe. He wrote all the steps down as best as he could, then found a blank page and taped it in good.
Right here.
The chef realized he'd learned so much today about feeling lost and then finding his way. Staying inspired is truly an art, and the very best recipes come straight from the heart.
That was awesome, Chef. Second part with this?
I'm here.
All right, your show, man.
Oh, thank you, madam. You know, I had a great time recording that with Will, too. It's just wonderful. Having so much fun.
So,
Okay. Yes?
you want to welcome everybody to our book event?
But here's you, madam. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our book reading event right here. Okay, thank you, everyone, for coming. We're going to share with everybody introducing ourselves. But I'm going to pose a few hard-hitting questions to the team right here. And after that, we're going to answer some questions from the beautiful audience. There's so many of you. Almost all of my followers on Instagram. I can't believe it. Okay, I'll start. Okay, so my name is Tiny Chef. but I'm an awful and a chef. But I'm a fan of cats. I mean, mostly Miss Piggy, because I love so much. But I'm the Golden Girls. I love Miss Jackie. And RuPaul, of course. Miss Chrissy. But I'm playing Ariel. But I'm playing banjo too. But it's just many other things. But I'm singing, and I love people. I also love traveling, and I love cooking. I mean, everyone knows that. But I just love chatting about things that I love, and but all this other stuff. Okay, Basil, it's your turn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Chef. I'm Rachel. I'm a really good friend of Chef's. I kind of help run our Instagram account and just make sure that he, looks good on camera and just, do all the things that we kind of need to do to help his dreams come true. And that's me. Adam?
Oh, I guess I'll go. Am I next, Chef?
Yes, go ahead, Adam.
Okay, my name's Adam, and I just feel so lucky. Rachel introduced me to Chef now a few years ago, and Chef, you completely changed my life in so many ways. I mean, we're good friends, but now we're co-workers too, and I love writing with you. I love brainstorming with you. I love doodling with you, and we love playing games. I know they mentioned that earlier, but and then I don't say this enough, Chef, but like my two kids, Theo and Wiley, they adore you, and I just think you've been the most wonderful part of my life lately, and I just am so grateful. So I never get to say that, but now I get to say it to you in front of everybody.
I love you, madam.
I love you too.
Okay, Bosie.
Hey, I'm Ozzy. I met the chef in New Zealand when I visited Rachel the first time, and we instantly connected. He's just amazing, and we all both share the passion for cooking and adventures. And I thought I just need to help and spread his love to the world, and using my skills to help him build his dreams. And I love climbing, cycling, traveling, cooking, and just listening to the chefs makes me always happy and makes me laugh. Love you, Chef.
Oh, I love you too, Bosie.
All right, what you got, Chef? Give us the hard-hitting question.
Okay. Well, now that we've introduced ourselves,
Yes.
I'm going to take a team and I'm going to answer my hard-hitting questions. Okay, here we go. Madam, what was it like writing this book together with me?
What's it? The question is about what it's like to work with you. Okay, good question.
Writing the book specifically.
I'm here for it. Well, Chef, like, here's the coolest thing most people probably don't know about the book, which is, so much of this is just really honestly based on real life. Like, it's almost like based on a true story, wouldn't you say? Because you have all these wonderful, wonderful, endless talents, but you kind of misplace things a lot. And I think this kind of came from that. This came from talking to you about your experiences, and then we wanted to share that with everybody. Does that sound about right to you, Chef?
That sounds right to me. I remember losing that thing. Boy, I was frustrated.
So just to be clear, this was a recreation of something that felt very true to life for Chef and for us. And then I'm just so lucky we took the time to bring production in and document it and write to it, and so that it could become like a real story.
Yeah, so, and I'll help you answer it too, Adam. I feel like Chef does a really good job of just sharing his life with us, and we all kind of try to synthesize that for you guys. And Adam's just a really good writer on the team, and those two just talk about things. And when we knew we were going to write a book, I think Adam did a really good job of just taking this story that Chef told him a bunch of stories, and Adam kind of liked this one, and just did a really good job of putting this story of Chef's into like a really great book. So that was sort of the process. It was cool to see. So
sweet. Thanks.
Pretty amazing. Yeah. Because I got lots of stories that I share with Madam, And he just picked one of them. That was it. We have so many more, madam. I can't wait to share more of them.
That's the best one I got, Chef. That's it.
Hey, that's okay. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, very good, madam. Thank you. And you too, Rachel. Thank you. Okay, here we go. But I also enjoy the process with Baldy. So please tell us what it was like to light the scene for me in a book. And let's see, try to capture the essence of the day when I washed my recipe book.
It was quite difficult because your stump is not that big for humans, so I had to build special for that tiny lights and cameras. But of course, you had to help me to place them, and we also had to make sure that it doesn't distract you. So it was quite tough, yes. But then seeing how everything turned out so beautifully, it was worth it, right, Jeff?
Oh yes, it's true. It turned out so beautiful, Baldy. Okay, yes. Thank you, Baldy. That's very good. I'm very happy with how I look on those pages, you know. Basil, next question, please. What was it like to work with me on my game and having to summon all my frustration and throw a huge tiny tantrum?
Oh, yeah, the tantrum. Yeah.
That was like a pretty tricky day, I think, because you're really expressive, Chef, and it's really fun to work with you. And I think that day, we had a closed set, so it was just me and you. I wanted to make sure you could really like hone in on that moment, because I know when you really thought that recipe book was gone forever, and it has so many good recipes reflected over the years. So it was a big moment for you.
Oh.
And there was moments, you really got into your own character, and it was a good day. It was a special moment for us, I think, because you really owned that moment, and you overdid it a little bit, and then we tried to find that like sweet.
I do that, Basil.
I know you, but yeah, that's why I love working with you, Chef, because you're so expressive and you're
Oh, Basil.
You commit yourself so completely, Chef. And I think it's true. I think what all of us, the tiny team, of course, but I think you're the chefers, the fans, I think your fans, what we love about you is how open you are with your emotions, how much you're not afraid to show them, and how you let us in. And when you heal, I think even in the book, even though it's a book and even though there's still photos, I feel all the emotions you're giving us in each pose, on each page, like it's really happening in that moment. And that's just, that's Rachel. That's a lot of, I don't want to give you short shrift. That's, because he's a great actor, but you're also a great director. And I think what you guys found in those closed sessions is very special.
Agreed.
I think so.
You got any heaters for us? Any more hard hitting questions? Otherwise, there's a lot of questions in the Q&A. We'll get to them, but if you have more for us, now's the time, Chef.
I mean, I don't even have any like hard-hitting ones, but I just wanted to get a sense of like what your favorite vegetable was, maybe a fruit or two.
Well, I want to ask you, okay, how about this, Chef? We'll answer our favorites if you answer yours as far as like favorites and things. So whatever you want to do first, ask us a question, but you have to answer it also, if that's okay.
Okay. Let me see. So, posing to all of you, but I'm going to hear all of your answers, so that's fun. Which vegetable do you not like?
Oh.
Because I love so many. It's just the list for the ones that I don't like is very, very short.
Is there even a vegetable you don't like? I don't know that I've ever met a vegetable you didn't like. Rach, do you know of a veggie Chef doesn't like?
No one he doesn't like.
What?
It's true. I don't like, well, it's not my favorite.
I know one.
Sprouts.
Sprouts. I was
I'm
going
not
to say Brussels sprouts.
What's a sprout fan, guys?
I was going to say Brussels sprouts. That's so funny. All right.
Oh, Brussels sprouts are yummy.
I don't do zucchini, and when I was younger, I had a texture thing, and here's what I have to say to all the children in the audience. It's really funny as you grow up, because I didn't like all these things, and I was terribly picky. And as I get older now, I'm starting to like dig things that I never liked, and I try them, and I never realized I could like my wife introduced me to mushrooms, and I was so anti-mushrooms. Sorry, I know I'm filibustering about mushrooms, but we're talking about food. And now I love mushrooms. What can you can't live without mushrooms, but I don't like zucchini, and I'm not big on raw tomatoes.
Oh.
I have the same experience.
I know.
Chef likes tomatoes. I have like I used to hate bell peppers, but like now I love them.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to decide on something I don't like anymore because your taste buds just change and you start to like things that you think you hate, and you just sort of hold on to that thought that you hate it, but then later you're like, actually I kind of like this, and then you have to like give up the thing that you hated. So I don't know what I don't like. I guess I like bell peppers was kind of it, but they're growing on me quite a bit. So
I don't like eggplants. I
don't
just
like
don't
eggplant
it's just, the texture is like.
Why? What is it about texture?
Yeah.
hey Adam, there's some good questions from the audience.
Oh, I know. Should I? Hey, Chef, is it okay?
Chef,
Here's the concept. I'll just give you
Absolutely, guys.
questions, and then the team will obviously.
Right to the audience. Yep, I love it.
You did good, Chef.
So there's a lot of questions. We won't be able to get to everybody. I see that they're being upvoted, so that'll help guide us. But if you're not sure how to ask questions, I know some folks are asking in the chat, which is awesome, but now there's way too many things in the chat to sort out the questions. So move that question, get in the queue over on the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom. And I'm gonna start right now. Ready? Okay, so the top one. Will the tiny chef ever publish a cookbook of his favorite recipes in the future? Chef, what do you think about that idea?
But I love to. But I'm gonna need a lot of help to deal with you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pose a question back to you guys. What do you think, guys? Can you help me? Let me do it. So there is a recipe at the back of the book that we just published. And it's a political scheme.
It's good. Now, I have to point out, Chef, I don't know if everybody knows that you're an herbivore, and I don't know if you can explain what herbivore is. But herbivore is a really simple thing. I think most people get it. Do you want to explain that?
Well, it's just everything but I do, but it's just plant-based.
There it is. There it is. So, Chef,
that's really the simplest way to say it.
in the back of the book, The Blegafull Shoe, is so yummy. And this is by our friend, Laura Louise Oates, who translated Chef's recipe diligently with him. That's your bestie. I don't know if you want to talk about Laura. And then I think we should also, real quick, before I dive into Q&A, we should talk a little bit about Jason, who had so much to do with the staging of all of this and put so much, you know, Jason and you, Chef, you guys are really close. He sort of, for lack of a better term, like helped you production design, all the world, you know, there's so much of it.
Yeah, you renovated the whole stump.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's my general contractor. He built my stump, and he helped me redo my sink sink, because I couldn't reach it with my belly, so he helped me fix that too. But he built all my furniture, and he helped me build my pasta paint, all sorts of stuff.
He's awesome. We love Jason. We're just a close. Here's the truth. I want to say something about what it's like to work with you, Chef. Is this really interesting thing, because I feel like we all have these really different relationships with you, but you're like the son. And it's neat. I don't know if everyone has friends like that. You have other friends, and you just become friends with their friends. Well, we're all like a family now, and it's because of you. So I just think that's the coolest thing. I'm going to do more questions. Ready? Chef, what's your favorite dessert? This got upvoted like crazy, so you got to answer it.
Oh, boy. My favorite dessert. But I mean, there's so many.
Well, I know
I would tell you, but it's my carrot cake. Oh, it's my favorite.
Wow. That changes, I'm sure. But carrot cake is the answer. I love carrot cake.
It's so delicious.
And your apple pies? They are amazing.
Chef tends to like all the desserts that include like vegetables and fruits. Whenever he makes his stuff, he always sneaks in a fruit or a vegetable.
It's true. I made a blueberry pie,
Yep.
and I used stewed blueberries, and it was just delicious.
Okay, more questions coming from the team. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but we'll get to as many as we can.
Let's do it.
I mean, everyone keeps on asking. A lot of the same question is what your favorite thing to cook is, and it's a lot like that dessert question. You know, you must be used to this as a cook. I'll ask a separate question. Are you tired of getting questions just about food, or are you more than just a chef?
Boy, Bladum, that was a great question. But I'm so much more than a cook.
You are.
I do love to cook.
If you haven't heard chefs sing or play banjo, or there's a paint, and if you go to our Instagram, I just assume everybody knows about the Tiny Chef Show on Instagram, or go to our website, which is www.thetinychefshow.com, where we sell all of our swag, and where you can go and learn more about Chef's Universe. Okay, more questions. I'm just plugging. I don't know why I do that automatically. Would chef consider signing books, or at least sending signature cards? This is a wonderful idea we haven't put into action. And I think we'll have to work that out, especially for the next book. You know, right now in the world, we're trying not to touch everything. But I have a feeling that we'll start signing things soon. Hi, Chef. How long does it take to create each episode? That's a fabulous question and very difficult to do. I can take a quick crack, or do you want it, Rich?
I can try to explain kind of how it works, but we've got little cameras sort of wherever Chef is, where his favorite little spots. And once we kind of sift through the footage, and when we find something we think is really cute or funny, or, you know, just kind of shares Chef's life, we make sure with the chef, if he's okay, that we release it. And that takes about a week, I would say, for each little video. It takes a while to sift through all the footage, and then once we pick something we like, we send it to Ozzy. Ozzy makes sure it's color corrected and it looks really good. If Chef has a little something on his apron or anything, she can kind of clean it up in post-production.
I usually do.
Yeah, I always have to check with the chef if the edit is good, and he always gets me responses, and it's a lot of communication and it takes time.
Great question here. I love this. I just want to get to it. How can we, I love this. So whoever you are, anonymous attendee, we see you. How can we all be more like you, Chef? You're always so happy and positive. Chef, what's your secret? I know that's really putting you on the spot, so take a moment if you need it. It's a big question. This is like an open question.
Oh, thank you.
What's your secret, Chef?
Well, but I just like to really, I like to put myself in the moment, but I like to focus, really blow the moment in front of me.
Huh?
It's really all about just appreciating the things that I have, and the things that I'm growing.
Yes.
And myself, and I just love everybody, just for who they are. And so I put all those things together, and I'm just really, really happy all the time, guys.
Well, I mean, that's not actually true, but I think...
Chef, some of those Uno games, you get pretty serious. I'm going to say that.
I would say, but I'm happy, but I'm also very, very competitive.
Yes.
I want to add to this because I've seen you become very emotional, and I don't agree that you're always happy, but I'll tell you what you do and why it maybe feels that way, Chef. Tell me if you agree with this. I think one of your magical qualities is that you always find the good in things, and you look for that, and when you're not in that good place, you manage to find it. When I think a lot of us, it takes more time, or it's harder to see the good in something. So that's just from the outside. I just thought I'd tell you, you seem like an optimist, and that's a good thing.
Adam, you're very observant.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I do like to find the good in things, and also in people.
Yes.
I like to give them what I like to call grace, just to be themselves, and to love people Julio. You know, so that's very important to me, madam.
I have more questions, or we won't get through them all. We've got 2 minutes left. Here I go. Oh, no, we're not out of time. I'm just excited about everything. This is a really good one, too. I like this. This is from a true chef. Are you ready? Was temporarily losing the recipe book as scary as when Basham lost your wand? So, you know, what was worse? Well, I didn't want to make you upset, but I think it's a great question because it requires cheffer knowledge. I have to tell everybody because some folks may not know, but when was that? That was over a year ago.
Yeah, that was a year.
A long time ago.
The wand, chefs, your wand is roughly like an inch long, not quite. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, when we were, remember, Chef, when we were traveling from New Zealand back to the States, and I was in charge, you know, a lot of your little...
I forgive Basil.
Thank you. Just, you know, we try to ship as much as possible. We had a, you know, I was watching your things as we were traveling from airport to airport, and at some point, you know, that box got left in one of the airports, and we had a moment, you know, we're talking about happy all the time. You were upset, and I understood, but you did get over it. Yeah?
I did.
Okay.
But I was very upset for a second.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Basil doesn't so much for me anyway, of a things. She accidentally lost my stuff. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get over it. I'm not gonna tough. But I was thinking this one thing. But I was like, oh, Basil, that's okay. I still love you. So when I was went on, I was contacting, but I was behaving. But hey, listen, lady. He put it with his, and he was asking what it was, and he said, all right. You want to go on the key message? And he said,
Yeah.
all right, I got you.
Jackie helps you too.
What? Oh, it's the best.
Where does Miss Penny live? Well, that's a great question. You want to take that? And where is Miss Penny? A lot of people are asking about Miss Penny. I don't know if Miss Penny's right by you now, but everybody's curious what's going on.
Now, Miss Penny's always kind of by me, but she's not able to do her own thing. But I also like to snuggle her so much. Miss Penny lives in Portland. She's Basil's sister's cheesehead.
That's true. So just so everybody understands, you know, it's a little hard to explain, except that when Chef, you were in LA, it was really hard on you because you know, Miss Penny was so far away in Portland, and you know, living at Rachel's sister's. So that's a long distance relationship you have. But right now, I'm so happy that you guys are together. Let's talk about other questions.
Right now, so I can't really see her.
Yeah.
The camera's very. So I had to just put a picture because the camera's so far away. So there was just a picture of me and Miss Penny. Oh, look at it.
Can Tiny Chef turn on his camera? What's with your camera, Chef? What's going on today? I thought we were going to see you.
No, we've tried it, Adam. When he points it so far down, he can't see the screen.
This is why we use your phone, and this is the problem with the Zoom connection. I'm really...
We'll figure it out for next time.
Next time we'll figure this out, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here, Chef. I think everyone just likes to see your face, but I do love the picture you guys put up. That's a fabulous photo of you and Miss Penny that's on the screen. Hopefully everybody can see that too. Does Chef have a wardrobe of seasonal aprons? So that's a good question. Do you have, of course, I mean, I don't want to answer it. Chef, tell us about your aprons.
I have an apron for every single application I can think of. Yeah, but I'm for the holidays, and just my moods. If I'm going to cook a special dish or dessert or something, I'm going to forget the piece. And I'm like, and then I'm going to, and then, you know, sometimes I'm going to I'm going to auction off, and I see my keys.
Yeah.
How many signature aprons do you have?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big number. What is it?
I mean, that's at least 40.
I think it's more than 40, but whatever. It's at least 40. Or maybe you're talking about like...
Rachel probably knows better than I do, because she keeps them all, because sometimes I have to scrub them on them because I get so dirty, and then I ruin them.
I think
But I
you're
have to give back the man so she makes new ones.
yes, you're like my kids, Chef. My kids don't keep track of their own clothes or their own things, and if I asked them how many of something they had, they wouldn't honestly know. So I'm putting you in that bucket. I think Rachel takes care of it.
Yeah.
I think you're unaware of how many aprons you truly.
There's tons of them.
I was gonna say, I was like,
Why?
okay, so more questions. Okay, answered that one. Answer live. Do you have any words for people? Oh, this is wow, that's heartbreaking. This is funny. Which golden girl are you? Which golden girl are you?
Well,
I love this question, by the
if
way.
you like Blanche,
I had a feeling you might say Blanche, but are you really a Blanche, Chef? Maybe you are, but what do you? No.
well, I mean, she's a fanboy, but I don't know if I'm a Blanche.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe a Rose?
I see. Yeah, I think you're more of a Rose. I would have called you more of a Rose. I don't know if everybody agrees with that. Here we go. Well, we answered that one.
Yeah? I don't know. I just love them all so much.
Okay. What's your favorite song to play on the banjo, Chef?
Well,
You play Cotton Eye Joe a lot.
like you. But I can play that for hours.
I know. You do.
Okay, and here we go. Oh my God, this is so sad. So do you have any special words to share with the many people who lost homes and stumps in the fires near your second home in Portland? I know what's going on in the world right now, Chef. Are you aware of those things? Like some people may be losing their homes and things like that? I don't know how much you're paying attention to that.
Well, I am aware and I'm devastated. And I think that we just need to really focus on some things about the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Really take care of Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm proof that she can provide everything that we need to survive and thrive and live our best life. So I'm very heartbroken that everything is burning and there's all this climate change, and it's very scary.
I'm hopeful, Chef.
Really.
I'm hopeful that there's change and that that we're all sort of maybe inspired by the hard things that have happened this past year to sort of do better and be better, and that we can kind of like maybe everyone's just a little extra loving right now because sometimes things are a little extra hard, and that's when we come together a little more. So I'm trying to look at the positive in that, even though I love your answer. I love your answer. Trucking along. How we doing on time? Oh, 2:40. We're still here, everybody. This is awesome.
There's a good question of where Ozzy is, and maybe we can just talk about where we all live and
history.
a little bit how the quarantine, like, you know, like maybe the team situation. And someone asked if Basham's my brother. He's not my brother. He's a really good friend. I think Chef has sort of like pulled all these people towards him, and then we've all sort of become a really tight-knit family ourselves. So we all kind of play a different role in Chef's life, and we've all bonded really heavily together because we're all trying to help Chef with his dreams and spreading his message and his recipes. And, you know, he really wants his own cooking show. That's something that he's been focused on, and he wants to get back to Hollywood and keep trucking. And but I know he's really concerned with Miss Penny. So I think, Chef, we've talked about it, but once you feel like Miss Penny's safe, you're gonna be ready to go back to your tree stump.
I think so. But not quite yet.
Yeah.
Miss Penny's, but it's just too smoky, and it's just too. I would feel too worried.
I know. We talk about this a lot. And you're very worried. But so at the moment, I'm in Portland with Sheffy, and we're just kind of rooming with my sister and their family, and so we've set up little cameras in my sister's house so we can keep showing Chef. And Adam, do you want to talk about where you are and kind of how you help and how we all work together?
Well, here's what I think is the most fascinating, and most people don't know that. So it's just a tiny piece of history, right? When the tiny team first came together, Rachel was living in New Zealand and working with Chef, and Ozzy was living in London and doing a lot of the editing, the videos that Rachel and Chef were making. And then I was in New York side of things. I live in New Jersey, where I'm helping them any way I can from my computer. And it's so weird but cool that in the modern age, we can create something like this. And while we probably do our best work all combined together like a Voltron in the same space, we've really managed to just completely figure out how to keep the tiny world going, all of your businesses, Chef, at once, all remotely. And that's a small miracle, a tiny miracle. And I didn't know that was really possible until this happened. So like, we're a band with you, Chef. You're like our leader, but we're a band that is jamming from like many garages, so to speak, at the same time. So kind of a cool thing. I'm glad you talked about that. And I know there's like 100 questions here, and there's no way we'll get to all of them, but we will get back to some. What else do you want to talk about, Rach?
Let's, Bazoo, where are you at? And I think people, so just explain you're not in Chef's.
I'm not in the stump, okay? I didn't creep back into the stump. There's a background picture, but I just love his stump. I wish there was a life-size, human-size stump we can just go in there and just experience how it is to live in a stump. That would be so amazing. But at the moment, I'm in London.
Oh, I have a tip for some folks. I think I know why they're not seeing, some people say they're not seeing Chef's picture with Penny. It's just a still picture. But I wonder if you go to gallery view so it doesn't pop around so much, maybe then it would work and you'd see everybody. So if you don't know how to go to gallery view, there's a speaker view and a gallery view in your Zoom if you find it. So just a little tip for some folks if they're having trouble.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Technical difficulties.
So, more questions. Chef, someone asked, do you have any friends that look like you? What a question. Good question. Chef, do you have any friends that look like you?
That was a good question. But I haven't really found anybody else like me.
It's true.
But I have a lot of friends.
It's true. You have a lot of friends. And you love animals. Can we talk about animals for a second? You just What do you love about animals, Chef? What is your thing with animals?
Well, but I immediately think of Miss Penny. But I just have amazing floof. And her hooves have so much floof or whatever. Let's have a snuggle with her. But in her floof. But I love the farm sanctuary too. But I don't love animals around you. I mean, Bruno and Maria, they're all my best friends too. But they have big hooves, but I like to eat lots of grasses and oats sometimes, and berries and twigs.
Have you ever been to a petting zoo? I think you would have a blast at a petting zoo, Chef.
Oh, are those real?
Yeah, we're gonna take Chef to a petting.
Oh my goodness! You're gonna go to the petting zoo.
And now, sorry, Rach. That's now on you. So more questions. How are you staying connected? Any suggestions for those of you feeling a bit blue these days? So what do you do to cheer yourself up when you're not quite so happy? I mean,
Oh boy.
play your bazoo. What else do you do?
Now you play my bazoo, but out.
That cheers you up pretty.
I don't have a bazoo. But I play a lot of instruments. And I like to sing songs. But I see my quarantine bubble, but I can see my friends. And I like to have conversations over Skype, or what we're doing now, where I have all the friends. But I talk to you, Madam, and Bossy, and Basil all the time.
Yeah.
I like to pet Miss Penny Floof. But I can play a lot of board games. But I also like to play Uno. Boy, there's so many. But I just cook and making new recipes. And I'm gonna try new things in a kitchen.
I think
I really like to keep busy. Oh, sorry, Basil.
it's okay.
Did you find your kazoo?
Well,
Sure.
I really haven't found a bazoo, but when I did have it, but I love to play it.
Your bazoo is so weird, Chef. You know, yours bazoo, I call it the Vanishing Bazoo. It's really weird. It like, I swear it has like magical properties because it'll vanish and then we can't find it for like weeks and then it just shows up again. And it's amazing how quickly it vanishes right after it shows up. It's so bizarre, but it always comes back. So I don't know what that's about.
It's usually me to find it, madam.
Uh-huh.
And then it'll disappear real quick.
Yeah, you find it a lot, Chef. It's incredible.
I've been fishing going on.
That too, though, because I think like what you're saying, Chef, and what you said before, Adam. I think, Chef, you were just really good at adapting to different situations. You know, you've moved around a lot, and you've been in a big kitchen. You have your own tree stump kitchen. You've got a new kitchen now. You know. And during quarantine, you found lots of ways to keep yourself busy and entertained. And I think you're just really good at adapting and finding the best out of every situation and focusing on what you can do. That's what I see from you.
Yeah, but it's really true. You know, there are things that I like to do.
Yeah.
But if a situation presents itself where I can't do it, but I just find a way to do it. It's pretty simple.
Oh my God, I have an indecent question. This is so crazy. I went to the bottom of the list because I was like just tired of looking at the questions at the very top. But I'll go back to the top, folks. But do you have a belly button? That's an indecent question. I wonder, it's like, do you have a belly button, Chef?
Basil, what's a belly button?
He does not.
I didn't think you had a belly button. I don't know.
Okay, so my answer will be no.
No belly button. I have a belly button. What's your favorite movie? Ooh, that's a fun one too. Do you know what your favorite movie is, Chef? You like a lot of things, so I don't think you can go wrong naming any of your favorite films.
Well, I do watch a lot of TV when Basil with me.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, I do love watching RuPaul. But I don't really have a favorite movie per se.
Yeah. What's your favorite TV show, Chef? You have a couple. I bet some of our audience.
And I like RuPaul's Drag Race.
Drag Race.
What my favorite?
Your favorite movie is probably just a marathon of drag races, I think. Okay. Folks are asking, a lot of folks. I have to say, like, some of these questions are just overlapping, so that's why I don't answer them, because we kind of already answered them. There will be a TC movie in the future. Chef, you don't know this, but I really hope we get a trilogy one day. I call it a trilogy. But I'm just like, I think you're an excellent movie star. That means 3, Chef. You know, like Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future. I mean, not just one movie, but one movie so good.
Me?
2 more movies. What do you think of that, Chef?
What was it about? What would we do, Basil? Madam, we have to get writing right away.
Yes. Well, this is my nice way of saying we're a little behind, and maybe we should talk about the movie. Can I do some plugging for a second? Because I just don't think people realize how important it is on the week of a release. So I just assume everybody here saw the video at the beginning with the book and knows how beautiful and amazing it is, and heard how cool RuPaul, it was like a dream get for us. This was Kristen Bell herself, somehow using her unbelievable human powers as just a fairy god human, to convince Ru to come and record this with you, and then you guys got to become buddies. That's the audiobook. So I think, and I'm just saying this, sorry, Chef, I'm plugging you. I think your best work, if someone wants to experience you in the most sublime way, and you really love and believe in Chef, I'd say get the audiobook and then get the book. And then what you can do is, like, I don't know if you're like me, I'm a little old, but when growing up, we had record players and you'd have the picture book and it would go ding and you could turn the page with it. Well, you can still do that. You just get the audiobook and then have the book. And we've been doing it a lot in my house and it's an awesome thing. So anyway, and then what I was gonna say is this is the week that counts because all of our chefers are buying books. Hopefully other people are discovering it. Gift them to your friends and all the good other pluggy things that we say. And buy them from Powell's, buy them from your independent bookseller if you're not anywhere near Powell's or you want to find them online. And just know that if you're gonna buy the book or you know you're gonna buy the book, to do it this weekend because every book this week counts. Chef, we're trying to make you a bestseller and we just think that would go really well in your bio. Could be really blunt. We want to pump you up.
Oh, well, sure, madam. That sounds great.
That was my big plug circus. We can keep talking now. I just know we only have a few minutes left. What's the most pressing? I heard this one. What else do we cover, folks? There's so many questions here. People love you, Chef. Can you feel this?
Oh, I feel it, madam. I just love everyone so much.
It breaks my heart because, oh, I'm gonna get emotional.
Do you want to say anything to your fans?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Well, I do. I would just want to say, my little fans, but I just love you so much. You've been supporting me from day one, and I just really appreciate it. Oh, man, madam, I'm getting emotional too. I love so many of them. It's everyone who's here, and they're just asking what about a question, and I just want to have all of them, and I just want to have this deep conversation with everybody, and I just want to keep but I love you. Bleach, but every one of you out here. Thank you for supporting me. But I just love you so much. But I would like to sing a quick song in my appreciation. Okay, here we go. Thank you. You are my sunshine, my brownie sunshine. Blue makes me happy. Blue says my face. Blue says me so here. Blue mouse my foe. Blue says mouse. Thank you, everybody. But I love you so much.
We're still on, Chef, but that couldn't have been a better ending. I'm going to tell Chefers right now that the plush will return. You can stop writing us asking if the plush will come back. It will come back. We're going to try it together for the holidays. We're going to try and get it to the holidays. We have no pre-sale yet. There's no announcement date, so just keep checking on our Instagram. You don't have to write us every day asking if the plush will return. It will return. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, this is not Chef. This is a replica of Chef that Chef himself authorized. And Chef, we know how hot was it. What was it like having a doll made of yourself, Chef? That must have been surreal. I remember you getting scanned for this.
Oh, but it was, I did the thing in the winter time when I got scanned. So it had me heavier because of my belly and the circumference of my belly. So he's a little bit bigger than me. But I love him so much. But if I squeeze him,
We've got 20 sounds. We sold out in the first run, which was really amazing. And I mean, honestly, if half the people that bought the plush bought the book, we're a bestseller. That's actual math. So I'm kind of hoping half the people who bought the plush buy the book. I know it's not the same. This has been really a gift, and I wish we could go on forever. I know that we're going to get cut off here in a moment, and oh, there's Kim. I knew that was coming.
Oh boy. Hello, Kim.
Hello.
This was awesome, and we're just so grateful to the over 200 fans who showed up today to shine a light on Chef. And you said it all, Chef, but I just want to repeat it really quickly. There is nothing in the world more soul-filling than what the chefers put out every day in the comments and in stories. We see and love every single scrap of art that you send us, things that you write and email us. We couldn't possibly reply to all the mail we get, but I know Chef is touched. I know the Tiny team is touched, and I just feel like a jerk if I didn't say thank you, because this project came from nothing, and it only exists because of the talent of the team. Obviously, your talent, and I can't leave out Stephen Michael Michaels, your voice coach, who is a genius and has worked wonders with you. You are I understand every word you say, Chef, but especially the fans. The fans made this possible. You guys made it happen, and you literally sustained us. So thank you. That's all I got, Kim. Sorry, I'm done.
No, thank you, Tiny Chef and Tiny team. My heart is warmed. This was an amazing way to start our day out here in Portland. So thank you so much for being here, sharing your talent and your hearts. And we want to help Chef get on the New York Times bestseller list. So please see the chat, and there are links to buy the book at Powell's. The Libro FM link also supports Powell's if you're hoping to get the audiobook. So we hope to see you again soon at one of our upcoming virtual events. Again, thank you, Tiny Chef and Tiny team. It's been a pleasure.
This is awesome.
Yeah, bye. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.